Today, I want to talk to you about how I was unknowingly cursing my own marriage and not even knowing it. I want to talk to you about the power of our thoughts, what we choose to pray about, what we choose to write down on paper or put on a vision board. These things are far more impactful than we realize. And I want to talk to you about a huge mistake I made that I was prompted to quickly correct in order to put my marriage back on the path that was God's will. Hello and welcome. My name is Tanya Jean. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for being here. If you have returned because you are finding value in my content, I love you and I'm so grateful that you are here. I want to talk to you about a huge mistake I made that the Holy Spirit convicted me on and quickly got me to correct myself. I want to reference 3 verses today. Habakkuk, or Habakkuk, as some people say it, 2:2. And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and engrave it so plainly upon tablets that everyone who passes may read easily and quickly as he hastens by. Now, what does this have to do with anything? Well, I'm going to tell you. I made a big fat boo-boo. And that is in the most broken part of my marriage, I decided to make a list and start writing down how I could survive as a single mother. I was trying to figure everything out. I have not worked outside the home since 2008. I homeschool our four children. And I felt like I was put in a position where I was going to have to make a super hard choice. And so I started processing it and writing it down. And then I kept going back to it and adding to it, trying to figure out how this was going to work. I kept praying over it. And then one day I felt really convicted about this verse. And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and engrave it so plainly upon tablets that everyone who passes may be able to read it easily and quickly. And I just thought, oh no. Have I actually created essentially like a vision board on how I'm going to be a single mom? Have I just unknowingly cursed myself to travel down a path I don't actually want to travel down? But I just want to bring in awareness here and say that we have to be really careful what we write down, what we talk about to others, because I'm going to reference my second verse, which is Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they who indulge in it shall eat the fruit of it. This is so important. We can use our mouths to either bring life or death. So not only was I writing down a path plan that I didn't want to travel down, I was also speaking it, thankfully not into existence at this point, because God is merciful. But again, I just want to bring an awareness to be careful about what we're saying and what we're writing. And that brings me to the third verse I want to reference today, which is Mark 11:24. For this reason, I am telling you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that it is granted to you and you will get it. I can't tell you how many times I begged in prayer to God to get me out of this situation. Again, I am so grateful that the Holy Spirit continued to convict me and realign the things that I was praying for and the things that I was writing down and the things that I was pleading with God about. I was convicted to change how I was praying. My prayers went from begging and pleading and crying and screaming to making this massive transition into a place of surrender and stillness and peace, slowing everything down, instead of begging to get me out of this painful situation. Instead, I started asking to be molded, to be refined, to humble me. That's a scary one. Careful if you do that. I started asking to be shown all the ugly things, that if I ended up in a different marriage, that I wasn't going to find myself in the same spot. If I was going to walk out and I was going to leave and I was going to find myself a single mom, I wanted to know that I was leaving a godly wife, that I was leaving a fully refined, cultivated, and new wife. I wanted to know that I was willing to look at every single thing about myself that needed to be worked on and changed with an open mind, with an insane level of humility. I needed to know that I had looked at everything that was not good about me before I was going to even consider any further putting someone else in a position of potentially being hurt by me. I was willing to say, what if I have played a bigger role than I'm willing to admit right now in the crumbling of my marriage? What if it's me? That was really hard. That is really hard when you are in a place of pain and you feel like everything is the other person's fault. It was very difficult for me to put my mind in a place of, what if it's me? And if it is, what am I willing to do about it? And am I willing to stand in my mess, take responsibility for it, and then work on whatever needs to be worked on? I just want to encourage you that before you move any further down the path of leaving your marriage, that you surrender whatever you currently think and feel about the situation over to God and slow everything down and wait for Him to show you what your part is. Doesn't mean you haven't been hurt. Does not invalidate what has happened to you. I also want to preface this by saying I do not believe that everyone should stay together. I think that there are a lot of people who made a lot of bad decisions and got into marriages that were never supposed to happen. They were not ordained by God. That is between you and the Lord, okay? For me personally, I just want to talk about my story. This is not me trying to blanket all women, okay? I just want to talk to you about what I chose to do to save my marriage and how I am now living in something that is so beautiful. It went from, I'm not kidding you, a dumpster fire where I was crying every day and my kids were crying and hiding in their rooms, to something so beautiful. So when I tell you that God can restore anything, He can restore anything. And I am here as a witness before you to give God all the glory. He is so mighty and so powerful, and He has the last word, but it takes you slowing down. It takes you being humble enough to say, show me my stuff. So this is just my gentle reminder to you today to be careful about what you say. Be careful about what you write. If you have made a mistake like I did and you've been writing down plans, throw it away. I ripped mine out of that binder. I crumpled it up. I repented. I asked for forgiveness. I prayed for a new vision, new lenses to see God's will for my life. I prayed for my mind to slow down and be patient enough to see where God was going to take me. I had to release control of wanting to fix it and find my own plan, a plan that would happen faster to get me out of the pain that I was feeling. I decided to detach from my emotions, from my feelings of pain and instead wait on God, surrender all of my pain and my sense of urgency to have it fixed as soon as possible. This takes discipline and it takes letting go of the control. So hard. I am really discovering a lot about myself, and the more I let go of control and allow God to do what He needs to do, the more peace I have in my life. I thought for the longest time that if I could just control the situation and I could create a plan to get out of here and I could just work it out and I could have it all down on paper, that that would make me feel better. Quite the contrary. Now, again, with anything I say in my videos, I pray that you take this back to the Holy Spirit and you pray for the conviction for your own life and to see if He confirms this for you. This is just my story, and I pray that it helps you in some way. If it does, I just want to ask that you like this video, subscribe if you feel so led to, and I would even feel more blessed if you would comment below if any of this resonates with you. I would love to connect with you down there. And if I didn't already mention it, I am putting together some resources to help wives who are struggling. So if you feel like this would pertain to you, there is a form in the show notes that you can fill out. It's just a wait list so that I can notify you when I have anything available and ready. I really hope this blesses you in some way. God bless you. Until next time.